Hi everybody and welcome back to my tutorial series. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do some very basic contouring for cosplay purposes. You will need a foundation. I am addicted to Dream Matte Mousse. That's just what I like. Whatever foundation you like is totally fine. Everybody has different skin types and whatever, so whatever. You'll need something to apply that with. I also recommend getting an eyeshadow primer. And this is basically, you can get it in a couple different colors. I like to just get the skin tone color because it works underneath everything. And I'll talk more about that in another video. And then I have a brush. This is like a small concealer brush. I use that to apply my eyeshadow base. You will need either a contouring palette or an eyeshadow kit that has neutral colors in slightly darker and slightly lighter shades than your skin tone. I like to use a powder base. Contouring palettes also come in cream bases. You can, again, use pretty much the same techniques I'm going to teach you with a cream base versus the powder. And then I have a couple different brushes that I use for different steps of the contouring process. I have an angled blush brush. I have this small little powder brush. And then I have just a small basic eyeshadow brush. And then I also have a beauty blending sponge. I don't always use this. Most of the time I use my fingers, but it does come in handy for getting a nice, smooth, clean shape at the end. I like to do my makeup with my wig cap already on. That way I know my hair is out of my face. I'm not worrying about having to like pin it back and whatever. I'm going to apply my foundation. So now my foundation is on. Next up, I am going to do my eyeshadow base. So now that my base is done and my face is all one color, I am going to start contouring. So I have this like basic contouring palette. I like to use kind of like this guy blended with a little bit of this. Because that's together, you can see just a little, it's a little darker than my natural skin tone, which is what you want for your shadow color. So you'll kind of figure out for yourself based on what your skin tone is and your foundation that you're using and what character you're doing, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to take my angled blush brush. I go into that, a little bit of that, just kind of boop, 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 boop. And I'm going to sweep that, what size are you guys going to be able to see this better? I'm going to sweep that right under my cheekbone with like a little bit of a gentle curve to it. And I'm going to start pretty much right at the top of my ear. And almost all the way. See how if I continued, I would be at the corner of my lip. I'm going to go pretty much like 3/4 of the way to the corner of my lip. And then I like to kind of brush it down a little bit just to blend it in. You see how you can just barely see that? That's exactly what you want, because see how natural that looks, but you can still see that bit of definition versus this cheek? That's all you want. Basic contouring like this is just to accentuate the structure that your face already has, so that when a flash goes off in your face in a camera, you don't lose all of that definition. It accentuates it. So I'm gonna do the exact same thing now on the other side. You see those lines starting to form. One of the biggest pointers that I can recommend for when you want to start taking contouring to the next level is look at skulls. Like, look at the shape of skulls and the way that think about your bone structure. So if you want to build this up a little more, think in terms of where shadows are actually formed based on where the bones are in your face, and add a little more shadow wherever those bones are the most dramatic. So I'm going to take that same color, and I'm going to bring it into my temples. So I'm going to go from my hairline to the edge of my eyebrow, and I'm going to sweep that into my temple. You'll see how now I've got a little more of a curve going there. So I'm going to take the same color. And I'm now going to take it right along my hairline. What this does is just give your whole face a little more definition and a little more differentiation from your hairline. You can see now I've got just a little differentiation there versus here. So what this is doing is brightening up this whole area, bringing more attention to your face so that nothing's getting washed out. And especially, oh my god, if you're using like a light colored wig or anything, like a light platinum blonde or white or silver or anything, bringing your contouring into your hairline can make a huge difference of differentiating your face from your wig so you don't get washed out by that light color. When I'm doing freaking Black Cat, Amalthea, and Elsa, like, you better believe contour the crap out of my hairline. So now I'm gonna take the same colors again, and I'm gonna kind of do the same thing. And now I keep my hair short, so this doesn't do a huge difference for me, because I kind of have to keep all of my wigs covering this area since I have short sideburns, but I'm going to show you anyway. So you basically do the same thing, but just connecting that temple contour to your cheek contour. So for my jawline, because it's kind of like buried down here in shadow anyway, I like to go a little bit darker than I do for my face. So what I like to do for my jaws, I'm going to take, see how this color here is just a little darker than that one? I'm going to take that guy, I'm going to take a little bit of that, a little bit of that, but like mostly this. And I'm going to bring this, I like to just follow my natural jawline. I don't really do very much to alter this at all. Go right up there into this corner. Just blend and blend and blend and blend and blend until you go crazy. And I like to kind of bring that up here into my ear, kind of towards my cheek contour. Bring a little bit more shadow right here. So for the jawline, the nice thing is because there's natural shadows there, you really can just accentuate what's already there. So if you just like tilt your chin back, so you can see there's a dark shadow there, there's a dark shadow there. So I'll do my like standard, whatever my standard contour color is right along that jawline. And then where I see those extra shadows, I'll bring in just a little bit more darkness just to really accentuate that line. Okay, and then the other thing that I like to do on my jawline is I love accentuating this tendon. And I feel like adding definition to it just like makes next so sexy. So I like to just kind of sweep this contour down just a little bit into my neck. Just right down there. Yeah, that's the good stuff. You see how I have just a little more definition on that side? Just a little bit. Oh yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna do, again, same thing on the other side. The absolute biggest mistake that you can make with contouring is having harsh lines, because all that is going to do is bring attention to the fact that you contoured your face, and it's not going to make you look natural. It's going to make you look ridiculous. Side note, so as you guys have been seeing through this tutorial, I like to just use my brush to blend everything. You can also use a beauty blender. And you basically just take this and like blend shit together. That way. Okay, so next up, I'm gonna take this little guy, and so for the nose, it's really easy to make yourself look ridiculous if you go too dark. So I like to start with my lightest shadow and build up from there. So I'm going to start with this guy. So for this, I'm going to bring my nose. Now, luckily, I have a pretty defined nose ridge, so it's very easy for me to follow that. But I am literally just following that line down almost to the tip, about maybe like, I don't know, 7/8 of the way down to the tip of my nose, right along the ridge. And I start by drawing a line, and then I blend that out. And I like to bring it like way into my like eyebrow, upper eye area. So I feel like that adds a lot of definition. And then you're going to bring it along the side of your nose. Really blend that out. Make sure it's blended out down here by the tip, because you don't want just like a harsh line right down there. I'm going to darken that up a little bit so you guys can see it a little better. No, contouring and like makeup in general is one of those things you really want to keep in mind what your end goal is, like where you're going. So like I'll normally do my contouring a little more naturally if I'm going to a convention, because a convention's not just about pictures. Like, people are going to be looking at you face to face, and if your contouring is like pow, people are gonna think you look like a crazy person. But if I'm doing a photo shoot, like my intention is just to go to a place with a photographer who's going to take pictures of me, I can do my contouring a little bit darker and a little more dramatic, because the flash of the camera and like the photo editing and everything is going to neutralize that out a little more. And it doesn't really matter, like, you know, people face to face, like the intention is photos. So, you know, kind of think about like where you're going, what character you're doing, if photos are going to be taken or not. I mean, like, honestly, if I'm doing something where I know that photos are not going to be taken, I won't do contouring at all, because this takes freaking forever. So, like, if I'm not worried about my face being washed out in a flash, there's not really any point in me worrying about my contouring. But some people, you know, you'll do this once and you'll realize that you freaking love it and you want to do it every day. So, more power to you. I'm lazy, so that's my choice. You've probably noticed I like blow on my brush sometimes. That's to get excess pigment off, so I'm not brushing too much color into my face. You'll also notice I like go back and forth a lot, and that's how I blend. So I am constantly, from the second my brush touches my face, I am constantly blending. Oh yeah, see, the nose makes a huge difference. So you can see now how I've got like a highlight line kind of coming from my forehead down onto my nose. I've got a little more shadow here, which is just like really shaping my face a lot more. So another thing that I like to do is bring a little darkness up here into the underside of my nose. So see now how my nose is a little more separated from underneath. And then I'll bring a little bit into the sides. This is one that I like very specifically. I'm like blend, 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 because I think that this looks absolutely ridiculous if it's if there's like a defined line there. So I'm like, make sure that it goes away. Mm. Blend, 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 blend. Okay, so you're probably noticing that because of this long highlight line that I have going on here, I'm losing the tip of my nose a bit. But do not fear. So to fix this problem, I take my brush, which by this point is like fluffed the hell up, and I just pinch it, pinch it, pinch it, pinch it. So I have a little flatter of a line. For this purpose, I'm going to use the dark color so that I'm sure that you see what I'm doing. Normally I would kind of blend like my lightest and my mid-tone. I'm just going to tap it right there in the color. So now I've got that little pigment on there. And I pinch this, blow off my excess, and then I am going to draw back in the shadow that accentuates the tip of my nose. And as usual, I'm gonna go blend, 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 blend. And just blend the crap out of that so that that line disappears and looks more natural. And look at that. Now I've got my cute little button nose. I've got definition on the bridge of my nose. And I've got that separation between the bridge and the tip. So now if you were trying to age yourself, you could also utilize this by like accentuate your smile lines and any lines you've got coming over here, all your little like crow's feet, like kind of squint your face and see where all the little like age lines come in, and just bring shadow into those areas, and that will make you look older. Or, you know, don't do those things and it will make you look younger. So that's it for the shadows, but we're still not done because you want to bring highlights back into your face. I have two different highlights that I like to use, and I vary between them depending on what character I'm doing. So my palette has two colors. It has this really, really light neutral skin tone, and then it has this silver glitter. Now, I used to use exclusively this one, and I recently started using this one, and I found that I love this for more natural looks. So if I'm doing like comic book characters, if I'm doing like when I do my steampunk stuff, if I'm doing just like a photo shoot, like a fashion shoot or something, I want to look a little more natural, I use this. If I'm doing like a Disney princess, like anytime I do Elsa, anything that I want like a little more like magical shimmer, or to make my face look even brighter and younger, I will use this one. So I'm gonna do the right side of my face with the more natural looking highlighter and the left side of my face with the sparkly highlighter so that you can see the difference between the two. So right side of the face, we're gonna take the small, now you can use the same angled blush brush. The reason that I use two different brushes is because I am really lazy and I don't like washing my brushes. So I just like, this is my designated shadow contouring brush. This is my designated highlighter brush. That's all I use this for. So I don't have to worry about, you know, putting on my highlight color and then going to put it on my face and instead it comes out like dark brown because I didn't clean my brush properly. So I'm going to take my little natural highlighter color, and I'm going to bring that into the raised areas of my face. So you can already see the difference that that is making. It just brings a bit more definition and differentiation into the cheekbone. I'm going to take that same color and I'm going to put it right into the corner of my jawline to just kind of accentuate that spot a little bit. So I forgot to mention, I also have a little angled eyeshadow brush, and I like to use this for my highlighters around my eyes. So I'm going to take that color and I'm also going to put it right up in the corner, right where my eyebrow curves. And that's just going to bring a little more, it's going to make my eye look bigger, a little more open and brighter. And it's going to bring a little more definition to the curve of that eyebrow, which is going to make the eyebrow look nicer once that's filled in. And then I also like to take that highlighter and I put it right here on the corner of my eye. And that's also just going to brighten up my eye a little bit. So now for comparison, I'm going to do the other side of my face with this shiny silver. See how fucking crazy shiny that is? Sparkly. You can also like blend the two together and do like start with the lighter color highlight and then pull a little bit of the sparkle on top, just to like really accentuate highlights. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see the difference. Mostly it's that the shimmer, like, can see the light kind of bouncing off of it, whereas the more natural is just like a very neutral, natural looking contour and highlight. So for the center areas, I'm gonna just use the natural color. So in addition to the cheekbones, the jawline, and the eyes, you want to put this right in the center of your brow bone. Do a little on the chin. And again, think in terms of like what on my face is protruding. That's what light's gonna hit. That's where you want to put a highlight. So I want to put a highlight on the center of my nose, like on the bridge of my nose. And I like to, I don't do any shading in this area because I don't want to look like I have a unibrow. So what I do instead is I do my highlight here and I do my highlight here, and I just leave this alone, and it gives it just enough of a differentiation of color that you still see like a little bit of shadow there without it being like a unibrow. You want to put your highlight on the tip of your nose. And then I like to put a little bit of highlight right at the top of my lip. And that just kind of helps accentuate my top lip and make it look a little fuller. You can also accentuate that a little more by bringing a little bit of shadow right down here underneath your lip. Now my lips just look a little like fuller, like they're just sticking out a little more. You can also use these same concepts when applying your lipstick to make your lips look fuller by using a lighter color on your lips and then bringing a darker color onto the inside, so it looks like there's more accentuated shadow on the inside of your mouth and then the highlight. All that noise. So that is about it. Like I said, you can take these same concepts and kind of elaborate on them, do them a little more dramatically, different colors, build up your bone structure differently to really like change the shape of your face. If you've seen any of those artists, and it's pretty big on Instagram right now, of makeup artists who really like completely transform themselves to look like different people, this is what they're doing. They're just doing it in different shapes and different colors so that they mimic the face shapes of these different people and different characters and things. So keep that in mind, and you can take these concepts anywhere. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, as always, let me know, hit me up. I would be happy to help as best I can. Shout out to my patrons who made this video possible, and who are always the first people to see any of my videos. If you want advanced access to video content, photo shoots, photos, costumes, behind the scenes, how-tos, like one-on-one stuff, anything like that, Patreon is the place to do it. So thank you to everybody who supports me there. I really, truly, honestly would not be able to do what I do without you, and I cannot fully express to you how much I appreciate your support. If anybody is interested in joining Patreon or finding out more about how that works, there is a link down below in the description of the video. To all of you out there who are just starting your cosplay journey or working on taking your cosplay to the next level, I wish you all the absolute best of luck, and I really hope that this video helped you on any of the other videos in this series. If you have a tutorial that you would like to request, something that you would like to see, please, by all means, leave me a suggestion down in the comments, and I will do my best to fulfill that for you. And in the meantime, happy cosplaying, and I will see you guys next month. Bye!